In October of 2016, MTRI held an Acadian Old Forest Science Conference in Debert, Nova Scotia, where government scientists, foresters, nonprofit conservation organizations, and the public met to talk about their research, monitoring, and stewardship of old forests, and also to connect, collaborate, and identify gaps for future research. Each of the first 2 evenings we had guest speakers, Elena Ponomarenko from Ottawa and Frédéric Doyon from Quebec, speaking about their research in old forests. We also had 5 field trips which were held on the second day of the conference. One of the field trips went to Staples Brook Wilderness Area, a proposed wilderness area adjacent to a harvest block where there still are red spruce, old forests with a thick blanket of moss at the bottom. But this is an area that had been hit by Hurricane Juan, so it's a great place to see hummocks and pit and mound microtopography, as well as to look at how gaps are being formed in the canopy. And Dr. Elena Ponomarenko was one of the guides of this trip. She was able to show how you can read the history of the forest in its soil. Another one of our trip leaders was Bruce Stewart, who has been the Old Forest Policy Coordinator for Nova Scotia Department of Natural Resources. Another one of the field trips visited nearby Victoria Park in Truro, Nova Scotia. In this urban forest, we were able to visit eastern hemlock and white pine dominated forests and to discuss, with the help of leaders like Dr. Peter Dunker from Dalhousie and the provincial government's Don Cameron, discuss what kind of restoration potential the forest had and also how important it is to get people out and exploring old forests. One of the highlights for many of us at the conference was the keynote speaker, Shalan Chowdhury, who spoke about reconnecting to Wabanegedi. Wabanegedi is a great term. It's a Mi'kmaq, a word that describes the land that coincides with the Acadian forest region. She spoke about the importance of understanding how people have always been part of the forest and about the journey of people and forest together through time. We were really fortunate over the course of the conference to have a number of speakers from PEI, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia who could all share their research, monitoring, and stewardship. During the afternoon, we had concurrent sessions which allowed us to explore topics such as how to assess old forests, how to understand disturbances and gap dynamics in old forests, and how to look at policy that might be required or we could look to in the future in order to conserve old forests.